Hi everyone, Nothany Dice Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Yeah Yeah Yeahs record, Cool It Down. This is a brand new LP from landmark, New York, indie, and garage rock revival outfit, Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Karen O, Brian Chase, and Nick Zinner are back, releasing with this LP just short of the 20th year anniversary of their breakout debut. It has also almost been 10 years since the release of the band's last record, Mosquito, which needless to say was not received well by most fans and critics alike, and was frankly kind of a sour note to leave things on for such a long time. I was hoping with so much time having passed, the band would sound revitalized in some way on this new project, but I can't say that was my listening experience. Now, you could argue this thing is the band's most mature record yet. I think if you said that, you'd be correct. But in the process of gaining that, it seems like a lot of the group's original thrill has been lost in the process, because this is a pretty nondescript project to drop from a band that at one time was so raw, was so bold, and was so definitive. The opening track, Spitting Off the Edge of the World, I was split on it when I first heard it, and I am still split on it now. The pacing generally on this track is pretty tedious. The syrupy wall of droning, buzzing, washed-out synthesizers isn't exactly the most inspired sound palette, not for 4 whole minutes anyway. And obviously Karen O's vocals continue to be a selling point for the band. The inclusion of Perfume Genius is a nice touch too, but now it feels like Karen O is like the only selling point of the band. You could easily pop any number of copycat indie pop or rock lead singers into this song, and you would pretty much strip away any sense that this was a Yeah Yeah Yeahs track entirely. Then from here we have the song Love Bomb, and generally I have nothing against a slow burner, but kicking your record off with 2 of them I think is a questionable move, especially when once again we have a similarly bland synthy mix on our hands. Vocally, I would say Karen gives a pretty haunting performance, but she doesn't really offer all that much on the lyrical end of things. Wolf, however, is the first real attempt at a bop on the album. However, its full potential is soiled by these horrendously overbearing synth strings on the chorus. It kind of sounds like if you took an MGMT single from the first record and remixed it for the goth club. And no, I don't mean that in a good way. With the punchy dance beat and fat distorted bass line on Fleas, I feel like the band inadvertently wrote a Death from Above 1979 track here, but with some groovy, spacious post-punk bits laced in between. Also big ups on the ESG nod in the lyrics. Burning, I would say, is the first moment on the LP I'm actually truly enamored with. It's certainly grown on me since I first heard it as a single, and it's pretty much like if the band was trying to write a grand anthemic rock song meant for a 007 soundtrack or intro. And I would actually love to see this track reach that potential, or I don't know, maybe some kind of awesome Netflix sync. Things from here on the record cool down though. There's the mind-numbing beats and totally uninspired chord progression of Blacktop, which does slowly thicken up into this pretty beautiful drone of bass synths and guitar layers. But once more, this track doesn't really leave a super strong impression. I enjoy it more as a vibe than I do a song. And with this record being so short, it just feels like so much effort to be sunk into something that comes off so temporary. Then, curiously, from here, the band breaks into this swaggerific bit of sophisti pop on Different Today that somehow sounds like something off Destroyer's Kaput. Not sure how we got here, but what I do know is that this comes off pretty derivative, and I wouldn't say it's a sound Yeah Yeah Yeahs sell particularly well. Then the closing track, Mars, is a heartening spoken word piece where Karen makes reference to her son in a very touching way. I won't spoil the contents of the track, but I will say it feels like a very unsatisfying send-off for a record that wasn't really doing all that much for the half hour that it lasted. But yeah, pretty much one song that I loved here, while everything else, while not terrible, was just kind of all right. Just okay. Nothing that I would be excited to return to anytime soon, which is putting me truly on the fence with this LP as much as I did want to be excited for it. I'm kind of feeling a light to decent 5 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano. Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Forever.